All right.
Hi, Christopher.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for coming in to read.
Of course, my pleasure.
Well, it has been great to have you here. And for those of people who don't know, you grew up in this parish.
I did.
Tell us whose child you are,
Oh, yeah.
whose adult child you are.
I'm Pat and Bert Morgan's son, Chris Morgan, middle of three boys that you probably have seen climbing over things as children and then kind of sulking around as teenagers.
You'll know me from,
yes.
from having assaulted you with my
my pamphlets or whatever.
Exactly. That's great.
So I was baptized here in Easter Sunday, 1988.
Wow.
Confirmed here. I was an acolyte from the time I was 7 till I was, I think, 15, 16. Wow. So I did that for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, I really learned a lot of self-control from having to sit still and not kick my legs and fidget.
The thing about it, right?
Oh, totally. The discipline.
I was an acolyte too.
Yeah.
And it really teaches you a lot about
yes.
how to be in front of people and not
And I think I started to notice people in the audience, in the congregation would notice the better you were at being still or the better composed you were.
And you get all this positive reinforcement.
Yeah, it became kind of a challenge of how steady you could hold the candle.
Exactly.
When I was 7, it was all like I was dipping my fingers in the wax. I was.
It's freeform.
Yeah.
It's freeform at 7.
You perfect the art.
Well, it is truly an honor because we have a few young adults who've grown up here.
Yeah.
But you were still a rarity. So it has been such a neat thing to get to know you as an adult and have you come in and read.
It's been great too, as I got older, I didn't go to church much after confirmation for a little bit. But, I really started to connect with more and more people in the Poughkeepsie community working in the library when I worked here.
Yeah.
And I saw how involved Christ Church was with the community in every different facet of it. I would run into someone from Christ Church, which was really neat.
That is just a miracle that we're known as a cool thing in the community.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And that's not true every place. So thank you. That
Yeah.
means a lot. Now, that sort of leads us to you are a librarian.
Yes, I'm a librarian. I was a librarian at the Poughkeepsie Public Library for a number of years. And I just moved over to the Newburgh Library a couple years ago.
Fabulous. And tell us about the kind of work you do.
So I'm not your traditional librarian. Everyone thinks when you say you're a librarian, you mean, oh, you've read all the books in the collection. Or you spend all day reading books, which that would be the dream job.
Right.
But I do more programming and outreach kind of things. So that would involve adult education, event planning, a lot more social aspects of working in a library than you would necessarily expect.
Yeah,
and now it's translated to something Susan and I have common, producing online videos.
Yay!
Because we can't do in-person programs. We've been producing a lot of videos even from my tiny apartment in Beacon. I've been making food videos and things like that.
Wow, that's great. So what's the most exciting video you've done in quarantine?
We've done some cool things. We've had interviews. We've got one coming up with legal services of the Hudson Valley about housing rights. Presentations from my sister-in-law who works at the food bank of the Hudson Valley on cooking. All these different topics have been really fun. We're doing a pickling class. All kinds of really neat things.
Wow, I would love to pickle.
I'll have to share that information.
Let me know when it's time to pickle.
Yeah.
So, and Chris, you also in your spare time, I have been just becoming such a fan because you have been learning to cook and really getting
I've become an enthusiastic home chef.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
and I saw your dressed up SpaghettiOs the
Oh,
other night.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, I've always liked to cook. My mom cooked a lot. She did the breakfast here, so that was always something that was special that we always shared. And so it's been really fun with quarantine to really have all the time in the world to make whatever meal you want at the time.
Right.
That you're not constricted by space, time, and you can really do whatever you want. So I've been trying to, all those bucket list items of the meals you'd want to try to create.
Right.
You can do that now, so that's been a lot of fun.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's so great. Well, it's been so much fun that you put those on social media.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
I'm a fan.
Oh, thank you.
And also, you just moved from Beacon to a new apartment?
Yes, actually, in 2 weeks, I'm moving from Beacon to Chelsea Ridge.
Okay.
In Wappingers Falls, so I'm excited for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It'll be a good change.
Very
I'm
nice.
closer to Poughkeepsie, so I'll probably be here more often.
Nice. We're always excited about that. And what, aside from the cooking, what has been your big discovery during quarantine? What have you learned about yourself?
That's a really good question. The cooking's been a big thing. Honestly, so one of the things was it's kind of funny is you have all those things you say, like, I'm going to do this one day. All those books on your shelf that you're like, oh, I'm going to read this when I have the time.
Yeah.
Or all those movies are like, I'm going to read this when I have the time.
Yeah.
And you realize, like, you have all this time, you're not doing it. That's kind of a myth. Like, just do the things you make yourself happy, and don't worry about the things that you should have done or things that you have to, like, push off for later.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right. That's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely. All right. Well, thank you, Christopher, for coming in. And
Yeah, no,
it was great
my
to
pleasure.
see you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right.